Hey, what's up, guys? This is Enemy Stand User. Hope y'all are doing good. Today, we are taking a deep look into the character Maki Zenin, the supposed failure of the Zen'in clan, and now, due to recent events in the manga, she is potentially one of the most beloved and best characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. Her popularity is now very, very profound, and us fans just cannot get enough of her. She is probably one of the best examples of a very strong and well developed woman in shonen manga, because we do not get a lot of those. But especially in JJK, she has now earned a really special spot, personally, in my eyes, as a character. Even regarding her own power and ability in the series, she really proved that she could possibly hang with some of the best in JJK, but we'll get into all aspects of her character into this video. So remember to like and subscribe for more content like this, and let's talk about this incredibly strong and incredibly fearless revenger, Maki Zenin. Now, to start things off, let's get a bit of insight into Maki and her background to better understand her as a whole. At this point in time, Maki is 16 years old and a second year at Jujutsu Tech, currently still having a very low ranking position as a grade 4 sorcerer, appointed by the Jujutsu Society because of her clan's interference. And due to Maki's upbringing in the Zen'in clan, she and her sister Mai have been getting ostracized and bullied most of their lives because of how the Zen'in always stick true to tradition and view women in a very, very low position, especially a certain scumbag who we'll get into later. But being in this environment and growing up, always expected to be a certain way, had very different effects on both Maki and Mai. Maki being extremely resilient and strong, wanting to prove to her family wrong and prove herself prominently in the family, and on the other hand, Mai, who was very cautious or arrogant or actually very stagnant in her growth, wanting to keep her head down and accept the position she's in. So as they grow up, Maki actually decides that she has had enough and leaves the clan, stating her ambition to actually prove everyone wrong and even become clan head one day. Maki then goes on to be a sorcerer, and even before she was set into Jujutsu Tech, she was actually in the Kuruku unit for the ones who couldn't use curse techniques, so Maki was always pushing herself and working hard. But in her new career as a sorcerer, despite not having much curse energy and giving the short end of the sticks, and not even being able to see curses without the help of her glasses, she still proved herself and her own ability as a sorcerer. And in the events of Jujutsu Kaisen 0, she was still the Maki we knew, having that very dominant mental resilience and using her skills to hone her ability as a weapons expert. In one of her first missions, though, she was able to hold her own against low-grade spirits, but when more powerful threats arrived, she was overwhelmed. However, she still had a part in helping you to grow and even taught you to how to fight and use his sword with swordsmanship. However, again, she was overwhelmed when Geto Suguru invaded Jujutsu Tech and completely dominated her, giving her no chances as he left her for dead. But thanks to Yuta, she was healed. So as you can see, even as being a sorcerer, she still can't catch any breaks, and she has to work extra hard compared to her peers just to even stand with them. But now at this point, I should get into Maki's power and growth as a sorcerer before getting deeper into her as a character in the series. Maki initially is a very strong and confident sorcerer despite the situations she's dealt with and the pain she's let on from just being born. She has heavenly restriction, giving Maki, in return for having next to no cursed energy, a very strong and capable body, able to keep up with her peers and fight really dangerous curses and threats. Some impressive feats that she has shown in the manga as well as in the anime is her fight against Miwa, who she absolutely clowned on and blitzed right through in the Goodwill event, so she has no trouble even against trained sorcerers and even against her sister Maki really showed no mercy and muscled through everything she had to throw at her, even catching her construction bullets. So she is literally the definition of hard work beats talent. Maki is also one of the best users of curse tools due to her circumstances, and she has mastered everything she can at her disposal, with conventional weaponry like kunai to extremely powerful curse tools like Playful Cloud. She has full control over them and is a powerhouse, even taking on special grade curses like Hanami in the Goodwill event, although she did bite more than she could handle on top of that, and she did have to tap out, so to speak. And in the Shibuya incident as well, we didn't get to see too much of her in that fight involving her, but in that whole clash with Naobito, Nanami along with Megumi helping, it was an extremely epic and difficult situations on the sorcerer side, and it was a very, very good high point for Maki to see her as a fighter, because that situation was extremely difficult. And even during that fight, you could, I would say, even for an experienced sorcerers, getting pulled into that domain with Dagon, it was definitely too much, but she continued to push through that. And during that fight, I would say that I was starting to get into Maki a little bit more and appreciate the strength and willpower that she had, and because the moments she had while fighting Dagon were pretty intense, and that not just any sorcerer is handling a situation as well as the whole group did. But it's kind of hard to really dwell on Maki at that point, because almost immediately after we see her display of strength in that incident, the Ogami puppet of carnage Toji Zen'in burst into the domain and completely destroyed Dagon. And on top of that, he out-muscled Maki and just ripped Playful Cloud out of her hand like it was nothing. So she must have felt some type of way seeing a fellow Zen'in clan member with no cursed energy doing all of that. She must have felt she must have seen her own circumstances in that, seeing how powerful a person like her could actually be. After that crazy encounter, Jogo shows up and easily coasts right through the sorcerers and actually burns Maki alive. And these same burns from Disaster Flames kill Naobito and critically injures Nanami, both much stronger sorcerers. So Maki definitely is blessed with her own heavenly restriction and fortunate enough just to survive that. But now we get into her craziest feat, as Maki is now recovered from her burns and meets up with her allies to address the culling game. She then decides to return to the clan and get some cursed tools along with Megumi's permission, as well as to visit Juzu Kamiya's workshop. Then when she goes to the Zen'in clan, she is greeted by some very familiar faces like Naoya as well as her own mother, but neither of them is on good terms or is a good surprise for Maki, as Maki literally is the failure of the family, the black sheep you could say. But Maki then enters the warehouse where she finds her father Ogi standing over her sister Mai's bloody body. And Maki, now pissed off, wields Dragon Bone and fights Ogi in a decisive clash where it was a very swift fight, but Ogi proved although Maki was likely a better swordsman or fighter in that aspect, she knew nothing of sorcery and was defeated because she fought him without that sort of mindset in hand. I think up to this point that Maki was really starting to figure out that even though she is strong and has heavenly restrictions, she is still limited in her power, and other sorcerers, other people with powers and abilities are way ahead of her in other aspects of their power, like with curse techniques, maximum techniques, domains, and even heavenly restrictions. So just like her father Ogi said, her power is not anything special, but as we will see, her power actually is very special, and she will be free from the burden of cursed energy. Mai then makes the ultimate sacrifice and uses the remaining cursed energy from both herself and her sister Maki to create Toji's blade, used in the hidden inventory arc, and now Mai passes away, leaving her sister behind with one final wish: destroy everything. And her big sister did just that. Now Maki has zero cursed energy, and she is now free from all of her limitations and has a body that has broken away from cursed energy. She is now an entity that completely mirrors Toji Fushiguro and has proven herself to be the strongest around as she annihilates the entire Zen'in clan, killing her father Ogi swiftly, absolutely blitzing and obliterating the whole Kokuru unit, the Hiei, and even besting Naoya in combat, surpassing even the projection sorcery technique that made Naoya the strongest Zen'in in the clan. She muscled and blitzed through the entire clan like tissue paper, and that really is the scary part because of what she's displayed going through these incredibly gifted sorcerers and family members that she had. They were semi-grade 1 and higher, and multiple were special grade 1 sorcerers that the Jujutsu Society recognized. So she is on a completely different level and more in line with a character like Toji. So real talk, how strong actually is Maki right now that she has broken away from cursed energy and has this body that is just like Toji? And initially I had Maki, even this was months and months ago, I had Maki, I was thinking she would be around like at least under the cursed family calamity, cursed spirits level, and even still after her transformation. But after going through this video and seeing her power and looking at the devastation she has caused, and even seeing some of you guys' comments, Maki is definitely now special grade worthy and would likely manhandle the special grades just like Toji did with Dagon, and that was a cruel imitation of Toji. It's just Toji's soul. So she is on a completely new level compared to how she was before. But tell me what you guys think about her power now, because even if she is just a bit weaker than Toji, she is still more than powerful enough to be a special grade in my opinion, and shoots right up the tier list, and she could possibly be up there with figures like Toji, Yuta, Yuki. She is just really a whole different beast right now. And just the crazy thought is now you could say that you could actually argue that because of her strength, she could actually beat over characters like Todo, Yuji, Chozo, Mahito, and the Cursed Calamities. So and these characters are no pushovers. They are some of the most profound and best fighters in the verse, and Maki could possibly be stronger than all of them. So she will definitely be a huge powerhouse in the coin game arc now, and I think she would actually be interesting to see her fight and tangle with ancient sorcerers now like Hana Kurozu, because we know she is heading to the colony to meet up with Panda. But Maki is so strong, and I'm very excited to see where she will go from here. So now moving on from that, what does Maki contribute as a character? What does her strength mean in the series? To me, I feel like Maki was always that really strong-willed character, and her mental resilience is one of the best aspects of her character. It's insane considering the amount of treatment she went through in the past, and her losses in the past, even recent losses like her losing in fights. She just giving up is not an option for her, and that's why she pushes herself and uses everything she can to get ahead as a sorcerer. And that's why us fans like her so much. And I find it just extremely poetic how the Zen'in were destroyed by the two failures of the Zen'in family. It is just perfect. And that moment with Mai that she shared with her sister Maki was very beautiful and heartwarming to see, because they were twins. Because they were twins with cursed energy, and how the Jujutsu world treated them. and even cursed energy treated them as the same person. So Maki could not grow stronger because her sister was holding her back. It didn't have the same willpower that she had. But Mai was so loving, and she had enough love that she was actually willing to give her life so that her sister could live and prosper with her newfound strength without limit. And with this newfound strength, she proved everyone in the clan wrong, especially Naoya. And if you notice in their final fight and clash with Naoya, he had a bit of a complex or jealousy aspect going on with him when he saw how Maki shredded through the entire clan and was a force like that of Toji. He blatantly said that she was an imposter and isn't like Toji at all, but we know Naoya is a very scummy and a very cruel individual who bullied Maki in the past, so he definitely got what he deserved and was very bitter until the end of his fight as well as the end of his life. He could not accept the reality of his situation and was stabbed in the back by Maki's mother of all people, and who I should mention that she was slaughtered as well. Maki killed her own mom, and in the end of the epilogue to this perfect preparation arc. And this section of the arc was really hazy because of the entire clan is dead, and even in this moment, Maki's mother actually had good memories in the end for her daughters and was happy she gave birth to her two beautiful twins. So in contrary to how her mom felt earlier and how distraught she was, in the end she really didn't feel any regret. But on the contrary, Naoya was full of regret and resentment, and he was definitely not killed by a cursed tool. So I might do a future video on Naoya's possible return, but that's something completely different. But Maki's physical and mental resilience is one of the best in the series, and she is now free from the chains of cursed energy that held her back and is now just like Toji. Ranta even said the whole clan exists because of Toji's whim, and that statement is correct, as Maki exterminated the whole clan, leaving no one behind without any trace except for Megumi. She broke past all barriers in her way and emerged as an incredible sorcerer. I feel after this rampage, Gigi really made Maki seem so much more mature and gave her a really dark aspect about her, and really want to see how she interacts with other characters now, or if she's gonna seem a bit more off or a bit more of a leader now, or flexing her strength and power. But thank you guys for checking out this video. Maki is likely, like most fans think, she's a fan favorite for most people, but I think she is very, very badass and cool. But thank you guys for watching this video. It was a ton of fun to talk about Maki. Please remember to like and subscribe and to share. Yes, share this video with friends or others so I can keep making content that you guys would enjoy, and share your favorite Maki moment. I would just love to hear what you guys have to say. But this is Enemy Stand User, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye bye.